Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about Marvel's Moon Knight, new Marvel show that is premiered today. Um, it's quite interesting. I can honestly say I know nothing about Moon Knight. I did never read a Moon Knight comic. I had Marvel comics, but I just never read Moon Knight. So I don't really know anything about this character. I'm going in brand new, learning the lore as we go along. How Marvel is choosing to introduce it. So I have no qualms about any changes that they may have made or anything like that because I don't know what they are. So, with that, I'm going to say spoilers! Okay. Marvel's Moon Knight, episode 1. Well, let's see. We start off with this guy that is having a shot, and then he crushes the glass, and then takes out the glass and puts it in his shoes, and he's walking around. We're doing this, I guess, to establish that he's torturing himself or something. I don't know. The guy's name is Harrow, apparently. And, yes, the character that Ethan Hawke is playing in this show. Now, Oscar Isaac, of course, is playing Moon Knight. And after that weird intro, we go to him waking up, and now he's tied to a bed. He got tape on the door, a million locks, sand all around the bed, because clearly he worried about sleepwalking and doing something he ain't got no business doing. I don't know why, but we haven't established that much yet. So he goes through his little morning ritual apparently, and he got a one-finned goldfish. And he work at this museum, and he go there. He got a terrible boss. It's annoying. Co-workers don't remember your name. You're pretty much invisible while you're at work. That's what that showed me. Anyway, he got a date with a hot chick. Do all of that to go home that night. Do all his little pre-bed ritual. He listened to some tape that gave him all these suggestions. I guess he tried to get the minimum amount of sleep he can get because they told him his body needs 5 hours. So he's up reading books every night and playing with puzzles and doing anything and everything to stay awake and then fall asleep, get this little 5 hours, and then he'd be good. Yeah, well, he did all of that. Next shot. But oh, wait, let me reiterate that they are playing with reflections. So you have to pay attention to all the reflections in this show because he has multiple personalities. And so they maneuver apparently through these reflections, I guess. I don't know. But he wakes up in some other place that's not London, some foreign country. And yeah, with a broken jaw. That was the part that his whole jaw was hanging off his face. And I'm like, what the heck? What the heck happened to me? But then it like went back, like it healed. So I'm like, does he have healing powers? Like, I don't know, but kind of cool, weird but cool. So then he running from people that's shooting at him. He gets to this village. There's this dude Harrow. He's in the village, weighing people's scale with scales tattooed on his arm. And one person, yeah, he's a good guy. The scales was all balanced. The next one, it went red and it turned to the side. The lady died right there on the spot. I'm like, oh crap, you know. Apparently, he's the person that wants this scarab that he got that he don't even know why he got it, where he got it from, none of that. So he got this scarab. He trying to figure out give it to him, but his body won't let him. He hearing voices in his head calling him an idiot. The stupid one is in control and all this other stuff. So I'm like, wow. And then he getting followed by this ancient god thing, which is the one that's being real disrespectful. I'm like, okay, Steven, you got issues. But then he goes home, or he wakes up after the whole elaborate car chase. He don't even know how half the stuff happened. And every time he switches, do like this flickering thing, and then he switch. They don't show you what he did. Then they just go back to him being Stephen and him being appalled by everything that's happening, holding a gun in my hand. Why am I driving this truck backwards? Why is these people shooting at me? How did I even end up in this place? It was hilarious. It was kind of funny how they did that transition. until he transitioned himself on back into thinking he was dreaming. So he back at home. He think everything went fine. He like, oh, that was just a terrible dream I had about being in some country and people shooting at me. You know, let me get on up and get my day started. Lo and behold, he's like, oh, I got a date because he forgot about his date, right? So he's like, oh, I got my date today. He go to the date. He 2 days late for the date. Date was on Friday. It's Sunday. You've been gone for 2 days, bruh. So he dealing with the depression of having lost time. He got a lot of mental issues going on. And then he goes on home, sad about missing the date and everything else. Realized that his goldfish got two fins now. So he's like wondering like why? Why does my goldfish have two fins? And I know for a fact it only had one. He go and talk to the lady about the goldfish. That's when he realized he had a date. My bad. I went out of order with that. But still, he went on back talking to this crazy goldfish. And he was depressed, eating the chocolate. He dropped the chocolate and noticed that there were scratches on the floor. So he's looking to see what these scratches is leading to. It's the table. The table been moved back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So he go ahead and he move it into the spot that it clearly been sitting in. And he noticed that it's a plank of wood, in the wall that's been moved. So he climbed up there, pulled out a phone and some kind of key. He looking through the phone. Some person named Lila, some person with a name named Dubash or something. It's only they haven't called them once apparently, but this Lila person they didn't call a lot. And who calls? Lila. So she going off on the phone. What's going on? I thought you were dead. Everything okay? La la la. Mark. So he like, what? Mark? Who is Mark? This is when we first get an real introduction to Mark, the other personality that's clearly running around as Moon Knight, because he told Mark he shouldn't have found nothing. He should leave it alone, let it go, and start getting terrified. He running out the apartment. Then of course this god, I believe Khonshu, is following him, terrorizing him. I'm like, I'd be terrified too. See some craziness coming down a dark hallway. I'm losing it. Anyway, that don't work out so well because then he have a go on to work the next day. Who he see on the bus? No, he black out again and wakes up as Steven on the bus on his way to work. So I'm like, oh, he done did some crap that he don't even know about again. He see the dude Harrow on the bus, so he run into the museum trying to get his coworkers to help him because he feel like he got a problem. But of course, they all ignoring him because they don't give a crap about him. He get confronted by Harrow, who try to weigh him. It don't work out. So that night, these creatures, because he had to do inventory that night, these creatures come. They start attacking him. He lock himself in the bathroom, and that's when he surrounded by mirrors because you got to pay attention to all the mirrors and reflections in this. I told you. And so then Mark started talking to him in the mirrors, telling him, look, if you want to survive this, you're going to have to give me control of the body and let me do this. Let me handle this situation. And so after heavy convincing, he go ahead and let Mark take over. Mark starts transforming into Moon Knight, and he takes care of whatever this creature was that was attacked him because it jumped him. It jumped him. But he beat the crap out of it. It was trying to run away after a little while. It didn't want to have nothing to do with him. But he beat it down. And yeah, that's how we ended this episode with him turning into him. I guess. Him turning into him. Him. Okay. Steven letting Mark take over the body and turning into Moon Knight. There you go. Got it. A little tongue tied. So it was an interesting episode, I gotta say. The special effects looked nice. I appreciated the writing, the views that they had. Like when he went to the other country and to get the scarab. Beautiful vistas. Hills are alive with the sound of music. That's what it kept reminding me of. Looking at the grassy fields and the mountains, snow-capped mountains in the background. I mean, it was a nice place. Small village there, it just fit the scene perfectly. This show's starting off to be pretty interesting, I gotta say. It's kind of cool. Like I say, I don't know anything about Moon Knight, but I'm interested to follow this and learn more. So, I will see you guys next week for episode 2 of Moon Knight, which I hope will expand upon what the heck was going on. because he's clearly knowledgeable about Egyptian stuff, and his job don't appreciate him for that. Yeah, go figure. And yeah, so he's gonna be able to, I think, figure this stuff out for himself. And maybe if he get that chick call, she could try to ask him some questions about something like, "Hey, I talked to something in the mirror that said it was Mark." I guess, I don't know. Either way, it should be an interesting show. See you guys next week.